Welcome, friends,
to the How-To Heretic.
I'm Uncle Mark.
And I'm Uncle Dan.
And I'm Uncle Doug.
And this is your user's guide to life on the outside.
That's right. Leaving religion is the first step into a larger, better world.
But it can also be a scary world. Things work differently now.
Never fear. That's why we're here.
We're your audio uncles. And with help from good friends and experts in all sorts of fields,
we're going to share the stories and seek the knowledge to build a great life.
After all, you only get one that we know of, so you'd better make the most of it.
Blasphemy! Guys.
Hello.
Blasphemy! Sorry, are we just yelling? I thought we were yelling
Perfidy.
that now.
Yes, we yell that. Anytime you get nervous or scared
Corruption
or anxious, just yell blasphemy. So here we are. I'm coming to you from the People's Republic of Canada. You guys are in God's true country.
That's right. Here we are, the triad of derp.
Episode 88. This week, as always, brought to you by the Wonder Bible until they tell us to stop. It's quite a show. Dan,
we need to stop saying that because somebody might hear that and think, oh, they're getting plenty of money. They got a big corporate sponsor. And,
yes.
then they won't be a patron.
We've got that Wonder Bible money.
We're getting sponsored by corporate Bible MP3.
By Big Bible.
By Big Bible. So Dan,
which, by the way, look for us to release Big Bible coming to a as seen on TV section of a store near you.
It's so big you won't believe it. World's biggest Bible. So anyway, bullshit aside, Dan, you've got a non-bullshit thing to talk about.
No, it's still bullshit. Lots and lots of bullshit. But yes, I'm going to be intricately describing something.
But it exists in time and space. So
That's
there's
right.
that.
But I think. Yeah, I think before that, you're going to talk about a very special somebody, aren't you, Mr. Mark?
I got excited there and a little ahead of myself with all the big Bible talk. Yes, we're going to talk about magic.
Yeah.
What it is, how to use it, how the fuck does it work?
And spelt with a K.
A C and a K. How about that?
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
And
Fancy
then
magic.
I'm going to spin a tale of unsurprise.
Yes, exactly.
On intrigue.
Everybody buckle up to not be surprised
yes.
as you hear things that should shock us.
In Doug's weekly crime report.
That's right. The Blotter with Doug, with Uncle Doug.
All right. Well,
that all sounds like a show worth doing. Let's
do it.
Let's give it a shot.
Hey, Uncle Doug.
Hello.
When was the last time you did, look, there's like basic things that you do when you're puttering around the house.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you clean a sink, maybe you vacuum, maybe you put a naked woman on an altar and do an incantation. I'm just wondering, when was the llast time you vacuumed your house because it's disgusting?
This morning.
Oh, okay, finally, good. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, at long last.
Yeah, but Mark, when was the last time you did one of those other things?
Well, yeah. Let me consult Andrew Torres before I answer that question. But our attorney at law, our barrister in this case,
yes, our solicitor.
Well, I can tell you about somebody who probably did a lot of the latter, but absolutely none of the former.
Okay,
and I'll get to that. I'll get to both parts, but I have a really interesting person to talk about today. And guys. You don't have to be a Christian or a Muslim to be a superstitious kook who alters the course of their entire life, chasing an invisible dream over the distant horizon. Plenty of Christians and Muslims do just that, but irrational lunacy comes in every flavor of the rainbow, like Skittles. So, we've talked about every stripe of huckster before. Some that seem to know it's all a con, like Benny Hinn, and others that are more convinced of their own special place in God's order than any of their followers even are, like a guy like David Koresh, right? Mm-hmm. So today's new friend, I think, lived somewhere in the middle of those two poles. It's hard to know. And who is it? Who is today's new friend? It's none other than Frater Perder Abo, the great B666, the Laird of Boleskine, the wickedest man in the world, X-degree Supreme Rex and Sovereign Grandmaster General of Ireland, Iona, and all the Britons, the reincarnation of Pope Alexander VI, Edward Alexander Crowley, whom many listeners will know simply as Aleister Crowley.
Yeah.
He's a lot of names. It's
very difficult.
Paperwork was a nightmare for him. So Aleister, for those who don't know, kind of an infamous character. He was born in 1875 in Warwickshire, England. Crowley's parents were fundamentalist evangelical Christians, and when he was just 8, they packed him off to a Christian boarding school where he later described sadistic mistreatment. So in this case, as in so many others, a love of Christianity can be cured by direct contact with actual Christians. So sadly, his father died when he was 11, and that drove the already rebellious boy deeper into crisis. He was smart as hell. He drove his teachers mad by questioning the veracity of the Bible out loud.
How dare he?
How dare he? And often knowing far more than they did about it. So good lad, Alistair.
Well, all he would have to do is read it, really. So it's not that impressive, to be perfectly honest.
It actually isn't that impressive, but so it was. And so he bounced around from school to school, kind of spiraling into crisis. And he, for a British upper-class boy, he was misbehaving, like smoking, drinking, masturbating, and talking about it pretty loudly. And then apparently at a tender age, I think he was like 13 or something, he contracted gonorrhea from a sex worker.
Holy cow.
As you do. It's the best place to get it, really.
He was, it's a likely place to get it if you're not careful, if everybody's not careful. So he was getting pretty hard to manage for uptight Christian school headmasters, clearly. So in addition to being smart and angry, he was also rich. His father was the heir of a successful brewing business, which looks like isn't there anymore, Crowley's Alton Ales. So when Daddy died, it became young Alistair's money. So the wealth allowed this intelligent dilettante to flit from interest to interest, from a high degree of chess mastery to mountain climbing, a hobby that would contribute to his infamy. So Crowley claimed to have his first serious mystical experience, a sexual experience with another man, in Stockholm in 1896. It seems in this moment he discovered his bisexuality, a fact he refused to ever be silent about from then on, shocking the incredibly uptight sensibilities of turn-of-the-century Britain.
I love it.
Good for you, Alistair. Yeah, I know. It's hard not to love this kid, right? So because of his wealth, intelligence, and connections, despite his vexing behavior, Crowley had thought of becoming a diplomat, which was a cushy life of luxury reserved for, just his socioeconomic strata.
Right.
But an illness turned him toward questions of mortality, so he gave up that vocation to pick up that for which we know him today, the occult.
Yes.
So a chance meeting on a climbing expedition in Switzerland got him an introduction into the ranks of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, which was a British secret society of upper-class types that wore robes and Tutankhamun headdresses that, to modern eyes, look a lot like Joe Bluth's Alliance of Magicians, complete with a sign demanding to be taken seriously. But
right.
It's kind of hilarious to see pictures of them. But they did take themselves very seriously indeed, and met in secret to summon spirits and growl into the darkness in Latin. So, silly outfits aside, it was here Crowley was introduced to the ritualistic consumption of drugs, and he took to that ritual with the beginner's gusto.
Yes, indeed.
So, who can blame him? It was probably the gonorrhea talking. So after these gateway experiences, he decided to jump into the occult with both hooves and purchased a dramatic little manor house in the more dramatic surrounds of Loch Ness.
Oh, cool.
A place called Boleskine House, which he had then claimed the title of as a laird.
Yes.
And this is a place familiar to any lovers of classic rock as the mysterious abode purchased by Led Zeppelin guitarist Jimmy Page.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, wow.
So, according to rock lore, this haunt by the legendary lake was where Stairway to Heaven was written, but sadly it's not so. So, Page was deeply interested in Crowley. He spent little time there, and the song was actually written at a spooky cottage in Wales. So I know Zeppelin fans. I'm disappointed too.
All that glitters is not gold.
So
in spite of the surety of the lady.
I think that's probably a lyric from the song.
It is indeed. Well done.
Yeah, I caught it. I caught that hint. So it was here that the fairly novice wizard Crowley set about to perform one of magic's most fabled feats of strength, the Ars Goetia, a 6-month ceremony of demon summoning based on the demonology of King Solomon in the Bible.
6 months?
6 months, and you have to be in this meditative seclusion.
He doesn't want some pussy demon coming. He wants a good demon.
Yeah, that's the Demon of the Month Club for 3 months, right?
I won't even microwave something that takes 6 minutes.
Well, it's odd that you'll find out that he was quite an impatient man. So this was a feat of such epic danger that apparently no one from the Alliance of Magicians had tried it for centuries. Like literally, all the other magicians are like, "You're crazy. You can't do this. They'll kill you." However, as Doug was mentioning about the microwave, the mercurial Crowley just plain lost interest in summoning the 72 highest ranking demons a month or two into the task. So, hilariously enough, he would later be cast out of the Golden Dawn, the secret society of rich black magicians who met in secret because his bisexuality was just too much for the warlocks who communed with devils.
Well, chances are he was hitting on guys at the conventions and stuff.
He probably was. Typical.
Typical.
Like one of the uncles at American Atheists. Anyway, that's legend. Doug. So this expulsion was followed by years of traveling in Mexico and Asia and India, where he studied Buddhism, Hinduism, Sanskrit, yoga, the whole thing. And there he contracted malaria and was deathly ill. So, of course, he and some other British loonies do what one does when recovering from debilitating illness. They attempted to climb fucking K2.
Okay, well, yes, of course.
And at that time, that mountain had never been attempted by anyone.
Oh, my God.
So sadly, they didn't succeed, which will come as a huge surprise. And nobody died on this occasion. So the always impetuous Crowley suddenly married the sister of a friend to keep her from having to endure a stuffy arranged marriage. It was certainly scandalous, which seemed to be a large part of why he did anything. So then the couple decided, as you do, to honeymoon in Cairo. If some of his biographies are to be believed, he and his new wife consummated their nuptials in the most exclusive room in Cairo, the king's burial chamber in the Great Pyramid of Khufu.
Whoa.
Which is awesome.
That's
how does one go
great
about
place to do it? But,
Yeah, how does one go about booking that room?
yeah, exactly.
Be British and have it be 1898, right?
Right, and have a lot of money and bring your own mattress.
Exactly. The trick is being British. So,
Right.
And in this secret nuptials, Crowley used the sexual power of this union to try to summon any of the ancient gods of Egypt, and it seems he did. His new wife, Rose Edith Kelly, in the days following the pyramid fuck party, began muttering, "They are waiting for you," over and over again. But who were they? Rose, who Crowley claimed had no connection to the occult before he fucked her in a 4,000-year-old tomb, led him to an artifact in a Cairo museum to which she had never been, to show him those who those who waited were. The small painted object she led him to, known as the Stela of Ankh F.N. Khonsu, which is just, it's cool, but it's kind of unremarkable as Egyptian artifacts go, shows some old Egypty stuff. But Crowley was instantly struck more by how the museum cataloged this artifact, object number 666. Gasp. So a short time later, the voice of Aiwass, a servant of Horus, began whispering to Crowley, who feverishly scribbled down everything the voice from the other side told him to, resulting in his great work, The Book of the Law. Aiwass commanded him to write that humanity had reached a new eon, and Crowley must lead humanity as its one true prophet. Now, yeah, I know this is really out of the ordinary.
Yeah, we've never heard that story before.
Right.
In Egypt.
I'm sure it's just coincidence that Crowley was using his time in Egypt between World Heritage Site fucking to study Islam and the Quran, which, as we know, was delivered to the same way from the angel Gabriel to the one true prophet Muhammad, peace bro. So,
yes,
the happy couple left their pyramidal bliss behind and returned to the bonny banks of Loch Ness, where the baby likely conceived in the pyramid, Lilith, was born. A very on-brand name for the Crowleys to have picked. Right? So we talked about Lilith in episode 56, if you want to know why that's so on-brand. But anyway, always restless, the newly minted prophet decided to climb Kanchenjunga in Nepal, which is thought to be probably the most impossible mountain in the world to climb, so he's learned his lessons from K2.
This guy's ambitious. I'll give him that much.
Yeah. Oh, what a life. Like, I'll get to what a life this guy had. But so anyway, an argument broke out among the climbers, and all but Crowley turned back. And just as happenstance would have it, they were all wiped out by an avalanche.
Oh, no way.
Crowley's arrogance prevented him from going to their aid, which is kind of a serious rule among climbers, and everybody died.
Yikes.
And that earned him international scorn among climbers. So there's another secretive group he's got kicked out of. As was typical of his class, he later had to hot-foot it out of India after shooting a guy, then met up with Rose and Lilith for a journey across China, where he developed quite a taste for opium.
As you do.
As you do. He went off to do magic with a friend in Japan, only later to learn that after he left them, his daughter Lilith had died of typhoid in Burma, driving him a bit mad.
That's when he was driven mad. That's when the madness began. Okay.
There's a long middle part where the madness was happening. So, and as if he isn't interesting enough, some biographers claim this serious globetrotting lifestyle was not in the interest of ancient wisdoms and delicious opiums, at least not exclusively. They claim he was a lifelong spy for the British government, and the absurd persona of a central casting wizard was cover. And as it is with most things, Crowley, it is exactly the same chance of being true as not.
Yeah, well, there you go.
So, having been bounced off out of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, Crowley and some splitters from that group formed a group called AA, which, though it should have been, is not Alcoholics Anonymous. It's just two capital A's with a little pyramid of dots between them. And this would later evolve into a cult called Thelema, which still exists here and there, and Crowley is its prophet.
Sure.
So, years of mountaintop and Sahara Desert magic sex rituals, one of which appears to have driven a young male initiate literally insane, blood sacrifices and very public sex scandals and accusations followed. And Crowley actually reveled in the attention, even though some of the accusations appear to have been totally false. But as time wore on, he'd spent his way through his fortune, and despite being a madly prolific writer of books of magic and poems and plays, and even short stories in the horror genre, he was pretty broke. So he ended up in New York as a freelance writer, where he oddly began agitating for the German cause in World War I.
Oh, my God.
Even ridiculously comparing the Kaiser Wilhelm II, who was kind of a middling nobody, to Jesus Christ.
Oh, wow. Well, you got in every race you got to pick a horse, and you don't get them all right,
and go big or go home.
That's right.
Oh, this guy went big all the time. So
yeah, he sounds like he's the definition of go big or go home. He goes big all the times, every time, never home.
This would be a fascinating person to have met, right? Kind of like Mana Sheila in the from Wild Wild Country.
Yeah.
Right? From the what were they called? Those crazy people. The Rajneeshis.
Yeah.
Kind of the devil, but she'd certainly be interesting.
Yeah.
So he was agitating to the German side, and here it is actually documented that he was acting as a chaos agent for British intelligence.
Oh my God.
In the United States, making the German-American cause look ridiculous and trying to convince the Americans to enter the war on the British side. So
okay.
It was a bizarre life, Alistair's. So the next phase of Crowley's life was to be the most intense and most destructive to body and reputation. He, after consulting the I Ching, of which you do naturally when you're about to make a crazy decision, he founded the Abbey of Thelema in a tiny town in Sicily to act as a home and school for keen young initiates with money to come learn the ways of the great Magus.
Yes.
And in this rustic country home, daily compulsory ritual offerings to the sun god Ra were followed by sex magic and compulsory anal sex. Ooh. Seriously.
Okay.
In a house full of children and wild dogs and cats.
Oh.
Okay.
So heroin, cocaine, and peyote were used constantly.
Holy shit.
And it seems before long the conditions in the house were like that of a trailer park meth lab.
It sounds like you're describing your place, Mark.
Yeah, well, that's what attracted me to the story, right? It was the court summons I got from the health department. So
this sounds like the hotel room in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas when they
totally
wakes up with the dinosaur tail on.
but in a quiet Sicilian town. So Crowley tried to force a goat to have sex with a female devotee.
Right.
And other initiates were forced to drink the blood of a murdered cat. Stories of the place were met with outrage in the British press, as you can imagine. And it was here that Crowley's heroin and cocaine addiction would become the dominant themes of his remaining years. So after Italy deported him from Sicily for reasons
Shocking.
reasons that are clear. I know. What? Crowley, I'm mispronouncing his name. It's actually Crowley. Crowley drifted around in search of money and a way to kick his habit, which by now had required several nasal surgeries to try to repair. So he ended up in Berlin, and this was the 30s, when he was fascinated by the rise of Hitler, surrounded as it was by ancient occult symbolism. So he even wanted to try to convert the Fuhrer to his cult of Thelema, but later turned on Hitler after he had German occult leaders arrested, and oddly enough, even accusing Hitler of practicing black magic in the press.
Boy, the road not taken.
Well, it feels a little odd for this guy to be, quote, accusing anyone of doing the stuff that he has been doing his entire life.
Right. And to him, black magic is not a bad.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I accuse you of eating fruit, sir.
Yeah, j'accuse. So, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, Crowley died in 1947 at the age of 72. He left behind a massive trove of writing and art. I counted something close to 70 books and poetry anthologies.
Wow.
Yeah, he was very prolific in writing, and he was a painter, in addition to all his other crap. But his shadow definitely looms large over the darkest corners of the modern Western tradition. He's inspired everybody from Led Zeppelin, as we mentioned, to David Bowie, to Anton LaVey, to, of course, Ozzy Osbourne. Oh, and last thing, while he was alive, he oversaw several chapters of the Odo Templi Orientis.
Ah, yes.
Yes, the OTO, another incarnation of a secret magic society. And they had chapters all over the world, including one in Los Angeles.
And the OTO is largely... I'm sorry, I should let you say it. You say all the things.
No, go ahead.
Well, isn't it... It's like... Didn't that become part of the whole Satanist movement?
Well, I think I didn't go as far as finding that direct connection, but I know that
they're just a magic sex cult. Maybe that's all.
Well, that may be where Anton LaVey, found inspiration originally, but it was mostly sex and not directly Satanism.
Right. We'll have to do them another time.
Oh, for sure. So the LA chapter was started by a brilliant young disciple named Jack Parsons. And interesting, but not the most interesting part of that story is that Jack Parsons was a chemist who invented solid rocket fuel.
What?
And went on to co-found the Jet Propulsion Laboratory out of Caltech, which still is active in getting, probes to Mars and things like that. So
and in getting magic to happen.
Right. It's interesting a person can be both things at once, but there you go. So the more interesting part of the story is that Jack Parsons had a good friend out of the OTO Lodge named Lafayette. Now, Lafayette was fascinated by the idea of advancing through secret levels of an order under careful guidance of a senior cleric who was in touch with forbidden knowledge and the power dynamic that created. Sadly, Jack and Lafayette had a falling out, as Lafayette, who preferred to go by his middle name Ron, took off with Parsons' hot girlfriend and left the Odo Templi Orientis to start his own thing. And by the way, Lafayette's full name was Lafayette Ronald Hubbard,
right?
Or LRH to his disciples of secret magic. So great job, Alistair.
Yeah, thanks for that.
You really made the world a better place. That is the weird, amazing, wonderful, terrible life of a crazy person, Alistair Crowley, guys.
Wow.
I love it. I love it.
And oddly, nobody's made a movie of this.
Yeah, but how could you?
It seems
I got it.
It seems like a lot.
Yeah.
But I want to see that movie.
Yeah.
Slash HBO series.
And Terry Gilliam has to direct it.
Oh,
he's the only one who can.
Oh my God,
that just seems
nightmarish.
redundant.
Nightmarish. So anyway, guys, that's Alistair.
Okay,
Crazy.
love it. Let's move on.
Say, Uncle Doug.
Hello.
Yeah, there's some things I just don't know one fucking thing about. So this might be one of those times where I don't have a clever thing to say.
We don't have any way to lead into this. We have no idea what Uncle Dan is about to talk about.
Uncle Dan has stumped us.
What are you
with this
talking
segment.
about? I told you what I'm talking about.
I know, and I have no
I gave you the actual
It
thing.
sounds like the worst Transformer ever.
Yes.
I don't know why Dan has decided to talk about the weird sex booth from Woody Allen's Sleeper, but I guess we're going to do that. So, Dan, just why don't you take this shit away?
Take it away, Uncle Dan.
All right. Jesus, take the wheel. What we're talking about, gentlemen, is that fixture of the Mojave Desert in California,
Yeah.
the Integratron.
The Integratron, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know how you guys have managed to live your whole lives missing that. As you will learn, it's a very important piece of our history here in these United
I know
States.
nothing about it because my memory was erased in the ignorance-tron.
Yeah.
It sounds like a lie detector that would explode if Donald Trump touched it.
Well, it might. I also might explode if Donald Trump touched me. So who knows?
In ecstasy.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And we know what kind of explosion.
Dreams really do come true.
So anyway, Integratron. I'll just start by describing the thing, and then we'll go and do some history, whatever. Imagine, if you will, a 38-foot tall, dome-shaped building,
Right.
55 feet in diameter. Perfect, round. It's got sort of 16 segments like an orange. It looks like sort of, it's painted white.
Is Pauly Shore inside?
Sometimes, probably.
It's weird you asked that because just this minute, yes, he is.
Yes,
I'm looking at the live feed.
As we record right now, he is in there.
Yeah.
It looks kind of like maybe like the dome of an observatory, like a telescope might come out, but it won't. It's painted white, and it's got a ring about 12 feet up that goes around that sort of juts out and has all of these things coming out from it, which they will not be able to. I will not be able to explain to you exactly what it is, but we'll be able to talk about it some. Anyway,
I'm just imagining you trying to just give a description of somebody to the police. the round head with the thing sticking out.
It's got some pokies.
What's the bits that run on the ground and the bits that hold coins? All of that.
Well, thank you. I'm glad that I can be of service, and
Yes.
I should probably have podcasts with as good at describing things as I am.
The visual is complete. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. A white dome. It's a white dome in the middle of the fucking desert. What do you want from me? It's got 16.
See?
It's got
Is it that
16
hard?
windows going around. Anyway, there it is. It was built by a man named George Van Tassel.
Great name.
Great name.
And I'll give you a little bit of background on George Van Tassel. He grew up in the Midwest somewhere and then moved out to Los Angeles, where he worked in the aerospace industry for a little while. But before he did that, at first he was working in a garage, and he met a German fella by the name of Frank Kritzer, who was a bit of a loner, a bit of a weirdo, and claimed to him to be working a mine somewhere out in the middle of the desert. So they became friends. Meanwhile, George started work in the aerospace industry, or mostly just the airplane industry, as a mechanic, and then as an inspector, and was by all accounts a very smart guy, and did good with that. And then one day, his buddy Frank, he found out that he blew up. Frank lived.
Their dream of a cop buddy movie called Kritzner and Van Tassel was dead.
Yes, indeed.
He was 2 weeks from retirement.
I would watch the shit out of that movie.
He was getting too old for this shit. So what ended up happening was that Kritzer had excavated out a hole in which he lived, a 400 square foot room underneath a very large boulder called Giant Rock, which aptly named, if you ask
Strange
me.
name. I don't get it, but sure.
Which the rock is still out there. And he had excavated it using dynamite, which had all gone surprisingly well, apparently, and he just lived there, and it was fine. But this was the early 20th century, and he had installed also a giant radio antenna on top of Giant Rock.
Oh, Jesus.
Leading the authorities to believe that maybe a German guy with with very large communication equipment might be nefarious in nature.
He was not on the up and up, yeah.
So they decided to raid his little thing and tossed in a canister of tear gas, which apparently ignited the rest of his store of dynamite.
Oh, no.
And kablooey! So what do you do when your friend has literally gone to smithereens? You go out.
It's hard to pick a condolence card for that.
Right. That one's tricky.
Hallmark forgot.
No, they make one. It's just hard to find. Anyway, literally, he went and lived there. He re-excavated the place, moved his wife and children out to the middle of nowhere, and lived there. Where he
that's like in The World According to Garp, where he's looking at a house to buy and a plane crashes into it, and he's like, "I'll take it." They're like, "What, are you crazy?" He's like, "What are the chances of that happening again?"
Boom! I think you figured it out.
Yeah.
So he, I guess, scraped out the pieces of Frank that were left over and moved in, and set up at least 5 square miles from the Bureau of Land Management, and set up a little airstrip which he ran as a little airport.
Also not suspicious.
No, nothing weird about that at all. He was an airplane guy. Anyway, while he was living out there, he started to be interested in philosophy and religion, and began holding meditative little retreats in his 400 square feet under the Giant Rock. And people started to come, and they were very interested in all of this. And at some point, in the in the mid to late 1950s, I guess it was early 1950s. It was 53. He was meditating under his rock. He was asleep, apparently. This is all according to his memoir, I Rode in a Flying Saucer. Spoiler alert. He wrote that he awoke one night to find a fellow standing at the foot of his bed, and beyond that fellow, about 100 yards away, a hovering, glittering, glowing spaceship, quote, seemingly about 8 feet off the ground. So his new friend, Solganda, spoke to him in English and said, revealed to him that he's from Venus and was there to help mankind. Took him for a quick joyride in said flying saucer or spaceship or whatever, and then brought him back and gave him the secrets to cellular rejuvenation.
Which would come in handy on Venus.
Yeah.
Wait, no anal tomfoolery? Just a joyride with the top down.
You know, you don't say all of the things in your memoir.
Oh, all right.
When
you
it's
hold stuff back.
When it's a positive experience, you keep some to yourself.
I wasn't saying it wasn't positive. I was just wondering how he got off without it. That's all.
Listen, Mark, not everybody wants to tell about all of their anal experiences, okay?
Strap in, everybody.
That's Mark's other podcast.
Anal talk.
Anyway, thus began construction on the Integratron, which was basically supposedly there to be a device that would rejuvenate human cells, and also it was there for the research into levitation and time travel. That's right, time travel. That's going to happen, surely. So there you go. He decided to incorporate the works of Moses, Nikola Tesla, and George Lakhovsky, inventor of course, the multiple wave oscillator, as you well know.
Sure.
All of this was going to go into the building of this device that was going to give people basically eternal life, because biological cells have unique resonant electromagnetic frequencies, and if you resonate them correctly, then they'll get young again, and voila, because all cells are basically like electrical batteries.
Well, according to the Matrix.
Yes, exactly. So
that's why to jiggle my cells properly is why I have one of those things at home that you put the strap around your waist and turn it on and goes. I'll live forever.
Okay. Yes, I just got an image that I don't think I'll ever get out of my head. But
Nope.
I'm not going to describe.
You're welcome.
It. Yep.
You're welcome.
So yes, this. So he designed this building to be an electrostatic generator for the purpose of rejuvenation and time travel, according to him, and began construction, basically funded entirely by donations brought in by readers of his pamphlet that he put out. Now, he had this other thing going for him, which was that he started in the 50s to host the Giant Rock Interplanetary Spacecraft Convention.
Huh.
This guy had a gift for naming things.
Yes, indeed. Which he hosted for more than 20 years. Now, you may know, and there's a lot of stuff that we're going to have to get back to. There's a lot of stuff in the research for this that I want to go back and cover. But Uncle Mark, not unlike yourself, there's an intersection here with certain other groups. Basically, after Roswell, the Roswell, New Mexico sort of in space landing, alien encounter rumors came about. A lot of people started talking about how they had been contacted by aliens.
Yes.
So our George rose to fame as one of the leading contactees / ufologists, which makes that phrase makes me want to shoot myself in the face. Anyway, he started this convention, which drew in at its peak in the late 50s 10,000 people.
Oh my God!
People were very interested in UFOs. There's a lot of speculation about this being a thing where this was also the time when the atomic bomb was starting to was starting to be a real danger, and there were new aircraft being invented and rockets being invented every day, and people were afraid of being attacked from above for the first time in their lives or in the world, other than lightning. So this alien thing really captured the imagination of people the world over. We've talked about other alien cults, and LRH basically is sort of the most famous of all of the alien cultist leaders.
Yeah.
But yeah, this guy, he had this very popular convention. He had all of these people who believed in him, and so it wasn't that difficult for him to raise the money to build this Integratron. Even Howard Hughes apparently was a major contributor.
And he wasn't crazy at all.
No, he had a good head on his shoulders, that guy.
He sure did, and tissue boxes on his feet.
Right. No word as to whose head that was on his shoulders. Anyway, so he built this dome. He did it using no magnetic material at all. He did it all with wood and joinery, rather than no nails, no screws, no metal. Non-ferrous everything.
So Magneto can't attack? Is that the reasoning behind that?
Well, no.
Probably.
Excuse much. It was because it was built exactly, and if you test this, you'll find that it's true. It is 100% exactly perfectly placed on a electromagnetic vortex. That is not a real thing, but people claim that all the time. Eventually, we're going to have to get to Sedona, Arizona, and the vortexes. Not vortices.
The vortices, Dan.
No.
Vortices.
Not in Sedona. They're vortexes. And basically, this is a thing that you can't test for with any actual instruments. It's just a thing that you know because you feel good when you're there.
All my exes live in vortexes.
Doug gives away his Bond villain horrible turpitude.
Yeah. Why aren't there vortexes in Texas? I don't know. Maybe it just sounds too stupid.
Good question. We'll get to the bottom of that another time.
We won't. So there it is. He built this thing, and about 2 weeks before it was set to really open and get running, our boy Van Tassel died.
Oh, the jiggling didn't work?
He never got it fired up, apparently.
Oh, boy.
And there's no word on how it was really supposed to work, because fairly instantly after he died, all of his notes and everything kind of just up and disappeared.
But I've pulled this up online, and it's just a building.
Yeah.
Like, there's no moving parts or anything, are there?
Well, there's that part that I described so well that Mark can now envision perfectly in his head without any visual aids, that I think was meant to spin around, maybe around the exterior of it.
It just looks like an observatory. It's just
right. Remember when Mark? Do you remember earlier in the segment when I said it looks like an observatory? Do you remember that part?
Well, that's I'm the one who describes.
I think it looks like a Darlac helmet. There you go.
It does.
It's a bit of a pith helmet looking thing, yeah. Anywho, so after his death, it went through a few different incarnations. Various people owned it. And by the way, if you ever want a treat, go to the website of the Integratron and read their timeline, because they present it in reverse order, and it reads like it's like reading a version of the show Memento. You just keep getting new pieces, and you're like, wait, what? So if you knew nothing about it and you started reading that in the order in which it's presented, it just keeps springing stuff on you, and it's quite delightful.
I see they offer sound baths. That's neat.
Well, that's the new thing. So that's where that's sort of the thing. It was supposed to be this one kind of woo, and the guy died before he was able to get that rolling. So it's been various other types of woo since then, and now it's owned by three lovely-looking ladies, all sisters, who offer sound bathing. You apparently go in there, you lie down on a mat, and they play crystal bowls at you. The acoustics are, I assume, they claim perfect, whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean.
Right.
But it just means that it's a very live acoustic environment, and the sound...
It's a dome.
Yeah.
It's an unusual sound space.
I'm looking at these three ladies right now, and I'm going to guess they're not fans of our show.
No. These are California hippie ladies, I would guess. Very, very into whatever woo you can possibly present to them.
Right.
They can't hear the podcast over those noisy fucking bowls.
Well, that's true. So anyway, I am assured that it is a relaxing experience to go and lie down in a dome and hear bowls.
Sure.
Yeah.
But nowhere near as cool as the regeneration of your cells and time travel that we could have had if only our one conduit to the people of Venus hadn't died before its completion.
Yep. And if he could have regenerated cells, maybe he could have put his friend back together.
Right?
Got blowed up.
Maybe he could have. Maybe that's why. Maybe he kept him in various boxes and was going to.
It was a labor of love.
Going to piece him back together again.
Well, thanks for explaining what that crazy shit is.
Yes, indeed. Next time I go out there, I intend... Apparently, you have to book well in advance, which is why when I was very near it, I didn't actually go to there because I wasn't able to... I wouldn't have been able to get in.
Yeah.
Oh, pity. Oh, what a pity.
Maybe next time I'll drop $30 and get a sound bath. Any kind of bath is better than nothing, so...
Exactly.
We'll see.
All right. Well, lovely. Let's move on.
Okay.
All right.
Uncles.
Hello.
Friends.
Yeah.
Romans.
Yes.
Countrymen.
Yes.
Lend me your wallets.
I don't want to.
Okay.
Do you know why? Because there's nothing in it, Dan. And do you know why there's nothing in it? Because we're not getting enough love.
The guilt must flow.
That was heavy.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? We were raised Mormon. If we can't do guilt, what can we do?
That's the only thing I took away from that experience.
Yeah.
I've suddenly realized in post-religious podcasting that love and encouragement's not going to work. It's all got to be guilt and shame. right?
That's right.
Absolutely. If
Yeah.
there's one thing we can take from the religions that we cover, it's that the prime motivator of human beings is fear and shame.
Yeah.
So
There's a lot of money in guilt and shame. So come on, people.
so if you haven't given us money, then you're a bad person.
Yes. You made Jesus cry.
You really need to repent. We will make you do a rosary and say 5 Hail Marys and 3 Our Fathers.
Yeah.
And this week we only have one person who doesn't have to do that. One new person, and that
The
is
best person.
That is Michael. Michael, thank you so much.
Thanks, Michael.
For doing your duty.
Doing a solid for the uncles. Yes.
As a listener, look,
Solid duty.
listen, we know how many of you there are, and we know how many of you are giving to us, and those numbers do not add up.
Yeah.
So
We're on to you.
So you're on blast. You're on notice. Freebooters.
don't make us do a bishop's interview.
That's right.
Anyway, no, actually, we love all of you. Thank you so much. Those of you who have decided to donate. Those of you who can't donate, that's totally fine, actually, in spite of all of our protestations. But, it would be free, and it would be totally easy for you to go to iTunes and help us meet our new goal of getting 500 reviews.
5-star reviews.
5 stars only.
Please.
That's the only thing. It shouldn't be allowed to do anything else, but it is. So just be careful and make sure you click all 5 of the stars.
Yeah.
And that's great.
Yeah, and once you've done that, you can go to our website and hit support us. That'll take you to Patreon, and for a couple bucks a week, you get early access. And God, that's worth it, isn't it? That's a good way to start a Monday.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
So if you can do that, that's great. But if not, it's free for a reason because we love the people, and they obviously need the bullshit that we throw together. So with that, let's move on. Uncle Dan.
Uh-huh.
Apparently, just weeks ago, when we three were learning so much just over the Kentucky line at the Creation Museum,
I learned a lot.
That institution of learning and enlightenment, well, it has some secrets, Dan.
Oh, no.
It's got some secrets, and I think Uncle Doug is here to tell us about the mysteries of the Creation Museum.
Well, they're not secret no more.
Yeah.
Once you show up in a police report, you're not in a secret. Well, uncles, we don't.
Did someone get attacked by a velociraptor?
We don't talk a lot about our process and how we choose subjects and then spin them into comedy gold for our dear listeners.
This is supposed to be comedy?
Unfortunately, yes.
I missed that memo entirely.
Unfortunately, yes.
But on the rarest of occasions, while contemplating which awful religiously inspired bloodbath or bass-ackward religious morality tale to cover, fate knocks on the door and with white gloves on a silver platter hands us prepackaged pure and uncut perfection.
Yes.
Such was the case the other day when I opened up my computer and saw the following headline: Megachurch founder tried to get his former son-in-law murdered on trip to Creationist Museum, says ex-bodyguard.
Okay.
I just came in my pants. My pants are full of life-giving goo. Sorry, young listeners.
Yeah.
They needed to learn somehow.
And older listeners.
Yes.
Yes. Sorry. I think you need to be sorry to everyone.
There's just
I'm
so
sorry,
much,
everyone.
There's so much to like in this headline, even before doing any research. Just from the headline alone,
Yeah.
we have a mega church founder, so that's the promise of inevitable corruption and financial mismanagement.
True.
We have attempted murder, by far my favorite kind of murder, exposing religious hypocrisy, which is what fuels our podcast. We have a trip to the Creation Museum, something now fully crossed off of all of our bucket lists.
Yes.
Yes.
And finally, we have betrayal by an ex-bodyguard, hinting at boundless hubris, self-importance, and misplaced trust.
I love it.
So
I will point out that bucket list that you referred to, it was only hastily scrawled onto it minutes before.
In the margin,
so
yes.
It wasn't actually there before we got there.
So the only headlines I could think of more suited to this podcast would be Mormon psychic loses favorite owl to Hasidic Jew in pig racing bet with deceased Hindu llama magnate, or Deepak Chopra and Eric Trump still missing after big game hunt goes horribly wrong during the filming of Celestine Prophecy prequel.
So please let that be true.
Why did you have to choose the one that was real? I like the fake ones better.
So, John, just a quick side note to the universe that seems to have become sentient and is now a fan of our show. Take it easy, all right? Don't blow all the good material at once. I say this because as I was working on this segment, I came across the headline from CNN, owners of Noah's Ark replica file lawsuit over rain damage.
Yeah.
Okay, stop it. Okay,
I know.
Calm down, everybody.
Stop it, trickster god.
slow your roll, universe. You've got to learn
Yes.
pacing.
Loki is alive and well and loves our show.
Loki just did a fat rail of coke. Yeah. So
That's why they call him Koki Loki. Fun. We have fun.
That's why? I never knew why.
all right. Let's dig into this perfect headline of attempted murder by a holy man. The pastor in question is one James McDonald. He is founder of the Harvest Bible Chapel in Rolling Meadows, Illinois.
And the subject of the song, Old MacDonald Had a Murder, which I don't know if you...
McDonald had attempted murder. And there's got to be like a random name generator for churches, right? Harvest Bible Chapel.
Yeah.
Anyway, McDonald was born in Ontario, Canada in 1960, so thanks, Canada.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
He went on to get degrees from London Baptist Bible College, Trinity Evangelical Divinity School, and Phoenix Seminary.
So nowhere. He got degrees from nowhere.
Each worth
Yeah.
about as much as my PhD dissertation on the oranges of the species from Trump University.
You know what, though? That was a beautifully written thesis, Doug. In Sharpie.
Yeah.
I especially liked the bit about the tortoises. That's fine. Go on.
So, founded in 1988, Harvest Bible Chapel grew from 18 people to over 13,000 on
Jesus.
7 different campuses across the Chicago area. And as always the case with these types, he founded a spectrum of offshoots to his ministry. Too many and too boring to name here, except for one, Vertical Church Films, which produces small 1 to 3 minute vignettes about Christian subjects. Their magnum
Those are
opus-
my favorite kind of vignettes about Christian subjects.
short.
Yeah.
Their magnum opus is a single-shot short looking over the crucified Jesus' shoulder as he takes his last breaths for 6 minutes.
Oh, shit. A Jesus POV.
Christ.
Yeah, it looks like a shirtless Freddy Krueger. You know, you're shooting over this bloodied shoulder for 6 labored minutes.
But that's just... So we're just looking out at what he might have been seeing?
Yeah, but it's
as
out of focus, so it's like super duper low budget. It's a single shot. This actor,
my God.
this actor just wheezing for 6 minutes.
Yeah, but is it intentionally out of focus? I don't think so.
Well, I don't think they could afford anything to be in focus.
they couldn't afford to focus.
I want to see this. No, I don't.
Yes, you have to pay someone to do that.
Yeah, no, don't go watch these. They've produced 3 feature-length films: The Ride, Once We Were Slaves, and The Resurrection of Gavin Stone. I only watched the trailers, but I would say that the nation's strategic reserves of heavy-handed schmaltz are in danger of depletion.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as the ministry and McDonald's power grew over the years, rumors of financial trouble would occasionally surface, but never gained any traction. And, of course, there were rumors of physical intimidation, sexual harassment, and authoritarian behavior. But, no one believed him. Several incidents that have come to light now,
But
including...
that's never happened in a megachurch, so
It's
of course
so
the authorities
weird.
didn't take
No.
it seriously.
Christians are never like this.
That's the thing is,
Yeah.
it's just this story is like in a vacuum, it's remarkable, but in the context of all of the megachurches we've covered, it is so pedestrian.
Yeah.
It's almost
Yeah.
boring. So there's an incident where he pulled a gun on a guy he owed money to in front of several people.
Holy shit.
Classic.
And a ton of other accusations have come out, and basically people have been asked, like, why didn't you report it sooner?
He once held Joel Osteen's teeth hostage for 12 months, but then nobody talks about it.
Well, he got him
Yeah.
back in spades.
It's weird that nobody talks about it.
So this brings us to 2015. McDonald's daughter and Tony Groves, his at the time son-in-law, had recently divorced, and McDonald somehow got it in his head that Tony had recorded them having sex, Tony and his wife, and posted it on the internet. Where he heard this rumor, I could not discover, but he became obsessed with it and took to scouring porn sites trying to find it.
Yeah, of course
Yeah,
he did.
sure.
Yeah.
Or
You
that's
gotta
what he
find that.
claims.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably what happened is he saw it on a porn site and then worked
Reverse
backwards
engineered
from
himself
there.
out of that.
Yes. And his wife discovered his search history, and he said, "Oh, honey, what I'm doing
That's
is trying to protect the family."
almost certainly what happened.
Yeah.
So while he was on a motorcycle trip from Illinois to the Creation Museum in Kentucky with his ex-son-in-law, He asked his volunteer bodyguard, Emmanuel Manny Booker, over breakfast if he could kill his son-in-law.
Wow.
And then he said, what's that?
He's a zillionaire mega church pastor, and he has a volunteer bodyguard.
Volunteer bodyguard.
Listen, when
Okay,
you run a
copy that.
church, if you're paying anybody for anything, you're playing a sucker's game.
That's right.
Yeah, you're the idiot at that point.
He asked Bakur if he would kill his son-in-law. He said he would help him hide the body.
He said he asked this over breakfast.
Yeah, over
'Cause
breakfast.
This is really a dinner conversation, guys. I honestly,
sure.
get this right.
Or a late lunch.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, a working lunch.
Now, depending on whether this was to take place before or after the visit to the Creation Museum, would go a long way in determining if this was an act of aggression or mercy. But Manny told him to fuck off and attributed it to a temporarily troubled mind of an angry father. However, in 2018, McDonald asked a friend and local radio personality, Mancow Muller, if he knew any...
Mancow.
Do you know him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's a famous right-wing, he's a crazy right-wing guy that got waterboarded
Yeah, that's right.
on air and decided, it actually is torture. We shouldn't be doing that.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got to love the intersection where Mancow and Christopher Hitchens meet up. That's an interesting moment.
The nexus of the universe.
Yeah. It's a
small
vortex.
world.
It's a vortex.
McDonald asked Mancow if he knew any hitmen. At first, Mancow thought he was kidding, and Mancow being, of course, the host of Mancow's Morning Madhouse, until several months later when he compared notes with what's his name, the bodyguard,
Manny.
Manny. Thank you, the bodyguard. Presumably, they were debating the merits of slide whistles versus boner sounds, and they realized that McDonald was actually a serious danger to Groves, and they approached the police.
Which, by the way, if you haven't heard Manny and Mancow's podcast, which is actually a very serious podcast, you guys should probably tune in. Manny and Mancow.
So although the police have yet to charge McDonald, the House of Cards has begun to collapse.
So wait, they didn't go to the police after they were approached for contract murder.
Yeah.
And didn't go to the police.
So Manny...
Okay.
Yeah, so McDonald approached Manny in 2015, and Manny kind of said, all right, this guy's, he's a troubled father. And then Mancow was approached by McDonald twice in 2018 until these two guys spoke to each other and realized this guy's fucking serious. Then they went to the police. All right.
Wow. Can I just say that if either of you ever asks me if I know how to get a contract kill going, matter of fact, I'm not only will I call the cops then, I'm probably going to call the cops on both of you now preemptively.
Good to know.
So that you know.
Good to know, Dan.
Yeah.
You know what? It's just a prophylactic procedure.
Yeah.
What can it hurt?
Now I've got to dig 2 holes in the desert. So Mancow also broadcast recordings of McDonald threatening to plant child pornography on the computers of his rivals and reporters that were not favorable to him.
Wow.
So under the weight of these accusations, McDonald took, quote, an indefinite sabbatical from his ministries, and then he was formally fired earlier this year. So, unsurprisingly, the ministries are currently $40 million in debt.
Oh, no, another shock to my system.
What?
How am I supposed to deal with all of these shocking, surprising revelations,
Right.
Doug?
That sound you hear is a cascade of my tears of sadness.
This debt has prompted the Evangelical Council for Financial Accountability. That's a
not
real
a thing.
That's a real thing. To terminate Harvest membership.
Oh, no.
No. On the bright side, these various lawsuits and investigations have prevented McDonald from collecting his massive severance, at least for now.
All I can say is if that organization is a membership organization that actually terminates memberships of unethical churches, they are a membership of like 3.
Zero. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So McDonald very recently appeared in a video posted to Instagram with his former son-in-law and future victim. To call this video awkward would be exactly how to describe this video. There is apparently a grandson involved that will bind these two men together for the rest of their lives. The chances of that poor kid growing up without massive damage is pretty much zero.
Too late.
Well, his dad's alive, so there's that.
For now. And to give this whole story a little perspective, James McDonald sat on Donald J. Trump's Evangelical Advisory Board in 2016 and resigned in protest over the Access Hollywood tape and Trump's blithe response to it.
Oh, good.
So sweet Jesus, this is everything.
Imagine a dishonest, hypocritical, fraudulent, potentially murderous bully looking at you and saying, I can't be seen around you.
You're kind of evil, dude. I can't be with you.
You are a moral dumpster fire. Now, who will kill my son-in-law?
Shame on you, Donald John Trump. Now,
Exactly.
I'm going to hit the porn sites again, looking for my daughter.
Oh God. So that's
Yeah.
it. There's your surprising journey of Pastor James McDonald. Surprising
Still
and how
not in jail.
unsurprising. Yeah, not in jail.
Okay.
Still not, charges have been brought.
Yeah,
though,
yeah.
right?
No charge has been brought. Because
For trying to contract to kill.
Mark, I didn't mention he's white.
Okay, copy that. Jeff,
Yeah,
please.
yeah, got it,
Yeah,
got
of
it,
course.
got it.
So there you go.
A fascinating look inside yet another religious mind.
Yeah, it's weird in our podcast when we talk about religion, and there's that rare moment where something just goes haywire,
Right?
right?
Who
That's not on brand for us.
Hey, but thank you, universe. I appreciate it.
Yes, indeed. All right.
Thank you so much. And the ark is sinking. Let us in all this joy move on.
Well, friends, that's it for this week's show.
Hey, we'd love to hear from you all. Send us an email, howto@howtoheretic.com.
Or if you're just sleuthing every porn site in the world to find your daughter and son-in-law, which is a normal thing to do, you can tell us about it on a voicemail at 903-88-HOW-TO, which is 903-884-696. I'm also on Twitter at HowToHeretic.
Yeah, we've got a Facebook page too. You can find that.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks so much to our patrons. You are awesome.
Yep. And thanks to Cody Layton for editing the show.
On vacation, no less.
Indeed.
Yeah, on vacation. There's a trooper, this guy.
He's our hero. And thank you, dear friends, for tuning in.
Bye, friends.
Bye-bye.